Welcome to the Bodhi Lotus Radio Show. This is Chris Tinney with my co-host, the Yogi Zen Dude from KDW in Las Vegas, 50,000 watts of power broadcasting in the southwestern United States. If you're in the southwestern United States, feel free to call us anytime during the show, 702-257-5396, 257-5396. And if you're online and listening to the recorded version later, feel free to visit our online community where the show never stops, BodhiLotus.org. That's Bodhi like the Bodhi tree, B-O-D-H-I, and Lotus like the lotus flower, L-O-T-U-S.org. Okay, I got that all out, Greg. And we're waiting for Taisha to call in here. I don't know if you have her number or not. So I won't give that out over the air, but I'll text you. Or maybe if you can run in here, I'll hand you my phone, then we'll have her number on there for you. That would work. And welcome to the show, everybody. We are really excited. First of all, this holiday season, there's a lot to be thankful for those of you that are new and tuning in. We're at our new digs here in Las Vegas, formerly at the WTAN broadcast network out of Florida. That was fun. We were on about 8 or 9 radio stations out there, and we are very excited to be on KDWN, where Art Bell and the whole damn Coast to Coast got his show started at. We're not sitting at the same chair. I said that. I was really excited the first time we did the show here because I said, I'm sitting in the same place Art Bell was. And they came and said, no, you're not, Chris. And he's not at this station anymore. You probably shouldn't mention that. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Anyway, we are here, and we are really excited. So this is the spread, formerly the Spread Peace Show, the Bodhi Lotus Show. This is where 1 hour a week we give you a boost to get you through the rest of the week. We are proving every week, online and off, that there is a place for positive, uplifting conversation on talk radio. And so we really appreciate those of you that advertise with us. Talkers Radio and other research shows that consumers are 3 times more likely to do business with businesses that they hear on formats like this on talk radio, because they support the advertisers that support the shows they like. So thank you to our sponsors. We're going to be talking about a few of them today because there's a lot of big things happening now. We have Hemp Inc., who's been our sponsor from the very beginning. We're really excited about that. The first publicly traded company all about hemp, all about stock. We're very excited about that. And the intentional community, we've talked about that last week, that they're building out an hour outside of Las Vegas here. 4,000 acres, 2,500 acres dedicated to be the new animal sanctuary for keepersofthewild.org. They have a big wildcat sanctuary right now. And if you go to their website, keepersofthewild.org, and you click on Keepers of the Wild 2, that be what we're trying to build. And that's out here. And that's going to be for the elephants and giraffes and the other ones. And it just every week, we're always amazed at the people we get to introduce you to. So we're really excited. And, you know, if you don't think there's a lot of good news out there, I was watching the news, Greg, and I saw, did you hear about this police officer that stopped all the traffic in New York to get a teddy bear off the road?
Oh, yeah?
That came out of the car. And rather than, you know, write a ticket to the people, he stopped all the traffic, got the teddy bear, chased down the car, and then pulled it over and gave it back to the girl that was in the car. And when they found out later, because it's on his dash cam, right? So that's all public. So he didn't even know. It just kind of got out. And then he ended up posting it on his Facebook. And he said that he knew how important teddy bears were to little girls because they carry them in their car for those accidents. And he didn't want her to be without her bear. And I thought, you know, cool. A lot of good news coming from police officers around the country lately. The other guy that went and bought the shoes for the guy that went viral, remember that? And then Ellen DeGeneres, I love this story. A waitress in New Hampshire was really surprised when Ellen DeGeneres walked through the door and handed her a check for $10,000 the other day because she had picked up the tab for a couple of vets that were in there having lunch. And she had, it was a relative of hers. I apologize. I don't know which one, but that she was grateful for. So she decided to think of them and appreciate them by picking up lunch for these 2 vets. It was $27.80.
You never know how those acts of kindness are going to affect others around us.
It really is. I mean, and there is no big or small when it comes to helping other people.
The other day, I went over to Staples to get something printed up, and I got out of the car, and I was picking up trash and stuff, and a young mother and her kids got out and said, "Can we help you?"
Wow, well, that's part of the flash mob that you guys do, that you do on spreadpeace.org. And if you haven't been to spreadpeace.org, that's our nonprofit, one of the ones that we're passionate about amongst many that we talk about on this show all the time. And at spreadpeace.org, you'll see the trash mob. It's not a flash mob, it's a trash mob. And so Greg will, the Yogi Zen dude here, will post events where you can gather up on a street corner somewhere and instantly break out into a trash mob and beautify that corner before you go. So I am really excited about that. I am trying to figure out what I'm doing here on this. And Greg, I am just really appreciative about what we're about to talk about tonight. We have Hemp Inc., one of our sponsors, a publicly traded company. I invite people to check that out, stock symbol HEMP, who's been really just gracious to us and our other nonprofits. We've had other companies, organic companies have come in and been our sponsor. And now we're really excited about Annasa Inc. And this is a company that we're very excited about because not only have we decided to accept a position with this company, and Greg kind of laughed when I said that on the way in, because we've also decided that we are two of the founders of the company as well. And part of this comes from, so this show's kind of special to me because I'm going to explain to you tonight why I am so passionate about what Annasa stands for and what it's about to do. I met my wife 5 years ago in 2 months today, and she said, well, why don't we just go feed the homeless every day? Why don't we just go out every day and do something good and look for something good to do? And I said, well, you know, I got to do this. I got to make that. And she goes, well, couldn't we live on what we have coming in right now? I'm like, well, we could, but, you know, it's not going to be like, we're not going to be living caviar dreams. And that's what we did. And so for the next 3-4 years, every day for 3 years, we were on the streets. In the beginning, it started out with helping everything from rescuing some animals to I became approved with Meals on Wheels to deliver meals to the
multiple acts of kindness.
Yeah. And one of the things that I was really blessed that allowed me to do that was a residual income that I had created because I had been successful more than once over the past couple decades in creating an online business or a business that could create me a residual income stream. And so I get real excited because I'm about to introduce you to a guy who's made millions as well in the NFL, played in 3 Super Bowls, the Denver Broncos, one of the 3 amigos. We've had people walk in the office and go, oh my God, I'm so happy I came. He's my hero. And I'm really excited because he's gotten involved with Annasa as well, and I know it's a passion for what he wants to create. And what I was getting at with my income was I saw companies make decisions that I didn't agree with. They went, pretty soon they weren't organic anymore, or they weren't this anymore, or they adjusted for this person so that they could make money from that. And I always tell people, I didn't leave those companies; they left me.
Right.
They left me a long time ago. And so, Greg, we've been out for the last few years now, really focused on working with Hemp Inc. because of their philanthropic opportunities that they offered. I've done consulting in the network marketing industry for the past 3 years, and normally you take a piece of the action on their sales and then disappear and demand that they contribute to a nonprofit of their choice.
Right.
And people that know me know the last couple of companies I've been at, I'm usually the guy on the streets feeding the homeless on behalf of that company. That's not an accident because if that's not in my contract that you pay me to do that, it ain't going to happen. So, when that kind of went away, we were around some great people here, and I'll tell you, here in Las Vegas is like a incubator of creativity with all the shows and the art here. People don't know this is a really spiritual town. Red Rock, Lake Mead, what an amazing place!
All kinds of hiking around here too.
And and we love Las Vegas. So I just the people we've met have put us. The universe really put us exactly where we were supposed to be at this time. And we're going to introduce you to a couple of people we've met tonight because we want to share with you what Annasa has done already. Annasa and Hemp Inc. are responsible for launching already before Annasa even opens its doors. Along with Hemp Inc. has launched a brand new nonprofit called Hemp Out Hunger, and we're going to hear from the founder Beth Kelly next week. Getting funded all her 501c3 filings and everything so that they can go educate people about the environment and how that can really help feed the planet, because there's no shortage of food, folks. When you really get into it, it's not a shortage of food. It's a shortage of people willing to do something about it. And with that, I could go on and on about that, so I'm going to stop right there. Mark Jackson, are you there?
Hey, Mark.
I am. How are you guys tonight?
Well, we are we're excited. We have I'm not going to say his name yet, but we have a very exceptional doctor here in the studio with us tonight. He's been on AM Coast to Coast before, and a guy that I have huge respect for. And he's going to be sharing with us not only some of the research he's done, but how that relates to the 2 products that Annasa has. And and I'm going to give them a plug for helping fund the show and everything we're doing. But Mark, just maybe you can share with what it was that made you decide that you were going to put your name behind Annasa. I know you've got people that pay you a lot of money to put your name behind a lot of things, and Annasa hasn't paid you anything. So I congratulations on your 3 Super Bowls that you were in, and I got your team right this time. I apologize. Last time I had you on the radio, I actually messed. And I heard from people. Man, you got some people that love you, brother. They came down on me on Facebook like within 30 seconds.
There's a lot of adoring Bronco fans out there in our blue and orange nation that we live in. 9 years I played in the NFL, I endorsed Nike football shoes, Apex company, athletic company, Wilson. I endorsed Ream air conditioners. I've done everything, man. And you're right. As a celebrity and as an athlete, you get a chance to put your name on something that you believe in, but you also know that you're getting a paycheck from it. And the great thing about Annasa and what you guys are doing is I totally believe, just like your show tonight, I totally believe in the mission statement and what you're looking to get done with this and the incredible the benefits that people are going to be receiving from the products that you're going to be introducing to the market. I've been eating these products this is coming up on my 3rd month now, and it's just gotten incredible results. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so adamant and excited as you guys are about actually getting other people this product. Actually, in 9 years of playing the NFL, have eaten all kind of different products as well. I always believe that nutrition and my health is my number one resource and the most important thing to us. And I've found so many people in the United States, their health is, number 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, and sometimes it's not even on a list. People pay more money, to take care of their cars than they do their own personal health. And that has always baffled me. But for a person that needed to be healthy and in good physical shape to make a living in the NFL, my health was definitely number one for me. So I'm excited about the products, and good secrets are often hard to keep. And I think I know who you guys are going to have on tonight. And let me tell the listeners, you guys are in for a treat. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and introduce him now, Mark. I'm going to keep your line open because I know that playing in the NFL for all the years you did at the level you did, you definitely probably have some questions that our listeners would love to hear the answers to. And folks, I'd like to introduce you to the formula. One of the people that has been involved in research and formulation in this industry. And tonight he's going to talk about some 2 specific products, but in particular, some of the specific reasons people are seeing the results. His name is Dr. Gerald Epling, and he's an expert on memory formation. He received his bachelor's degree in computer science, master's of science in applied cognition and neuroscience, doctor of philosophy. I'm not going to read all these degrees, doctor. Can we call you Gerald?
Yes, I like that. Gerald's great.
All right, let's do that. Right. But what's really incredible is the work you've done around consciousness and biocommunication and some of that published research. And I know you've been a guest on AM Coast to Coast and other radio shows, and we thank you so much for joining us on the Bodhi Lotus radio show. Maybe you can start by sharing with people. Some people don't even think they need to supplement. They think that their body, if you eat a good diet, you don't really need anything. And yet I know we're about to talk to, one of these ingredients I know was hidden behind the Iron Curtain, and that's one of the only reasons we know about it now. So I'm really excited because this really is breaking news in nutrition, just like the research you did. So let me open it up to you and say, what it is you think most people don't know that they ought to know.
I think most people don't know the energy levels in their body, how quickly their body changes. The fluid that goes from your brain down your spine, the cerebral spinal fluid, changes 4, 5, or 6 times a day, depending on how well you're moving. Your blood flow can change depending on how much water you drink. And in the desert, drinking water is really important. If your blood gets a little thick, then your heart has to work harder to pump the blood. If your heart works harder, then your lungs have to work harder. So always drink water.
We're all grabbing our water right now.
Great idea. I brought mine with me. So I think that's it. And this product that you have, this BLISS, what a wonderful product. I always try to take that with 8 ounces of water to get the best effect. I looked into one of the ingredients of this product called rhodiola. And I just went to NIH.gov. So here's the National Institutes of Health of the United States of America. They get scientific information, organize it, and present it. They have no dog in this fight. They don't back rhodiola. They don't hate rhodiola. They just look at the research and put the best papers up for us to look at PubMed.gov. So from PubMed.gov, I searched on rhodiola rosea and cognitive, and I found 10 papers. One of them was 2000, and it talked about 56 doctors that were working the night shift. Now, Chris, what do you know about rhodiola rosea and working the night shift or being tired?
Oh, yeah, no, I know that can really, really help a lot.
It can help a lot. So in 2000, somebody in the medical community saw this and said, yeah, they figured it out. So they did a study, so they were sure to get some really good rhodiola.
That's a cool report.
It's a great report.
Yeah.
Yeah. They found that it had no side effects, but it did have an effect of helping them be more mentally alert. So now a doctor is going to be better when he's tending to patients. Less chances for mix-up on medicines, better diagnoses perhaps, all because of rhodiola rosea. And that was from 2000.
Wow.
What's happened since 2000? In 2009, some people did a randomized double-blind study, and they found that rhodiola helps people with stress. So things that normally might overwhelm people now can be taken in stride. Cortisol levels were reduced, and cortisol is very important. Cortisol is an indicator of stress and how well you're handling stress. If your cortisol's high, there's a good chance you've got high blood pressure. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So cortisol is a good thing to drive down if you can.
Right.
Amen.
And they found this. They found this at Uppsala University in Sweden. Rhodiola comes from the northern regions. Sweden, Northern Europe, Northern Asia, Alaska, where it's cold. Siberia. Siberian rhodiola is wonderful. Then in 2013, March and April of this year, 2 new reports came out. And these are very exciting. The first one was sort of a bicycle exercise test. They had people get on a bicycle, a stationary bicycle, and pedal for 6 miles, the equivalent of 6 miles, and they monitored their vitals. And they found the people that took rhodiola had a reduced heartbeat. Their heart didn't beat as fast. It was about 4 beats per minute slower than the people who didn't get the rhodiola. So you might think they're slacking off, right?
Yeah.
No, they finished 1.4 minutes faster than the other group. So their hearts didn't beat as fast, they finished faster, and they felt better.
Wow.
And the wonderful
awesome.
studies.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I love it.
Well, it makes sense because, a lot of the things we hear, and not, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, and if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Dr. Gerald Epling. He's sharing with us some of the latest studies on rhodiola rosea, only available from Siberia and some of those areas at a particular time of the year, and the amazing effects that these studies are claiming that it does. And Annasa, a new company, our new sponsor, that Greg and I are the 2 of the founders of, this is one of the 2 products that are coming to market, BLISS. And you know how I came up with that name? Because everybody that took it, we asked them to describe. There's other things in it that you'll hear about. But everybody who took it, I had one person said, I'm sleeping without my medication for the very first time. And then I swear, 5 minutes later, I had someone tell me, what do you think of it? I have more energy than I've ever had in my life. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. And the common thing is people started saying, hey, can I have some of that BLISS? And it's like, so we called it BLISS in a bottle. And that's BLISS. The other product is Vitality, which has some amazing clinical studies that are coming out. But I just wanted to let you know, if you're just tuning in, this is Dr. Gerald Epling, and he's sharing with us some of these studies about rhodiola. Go ahead and continue, Doctor. Thank you.
Well, another thing that affects people negatively is inflammation. It's been found that inflammation is bad for brain health. In animal studies, this just came out April 16th, 2013. It's a study with mice. They showed that rhodiola rosea has a neuroprotective effect when neurotoxins are introduced into the bloodstream of the mice.
Really?
Yes. And it reduced inflammation for mice. Now, the other studies were all with humans. This is the first animal study that I've covered, but it is so interesting. I couldn't resist mentioning it.
Yeah. Well, and it's a very, I guess rhodiola is one of 12 adaptogens. And I know we have 2 other adaptogens in this product called BLISS, but maybe you could share with people, there's only 12 adaptogens on the planet. I know that I found them to be very amazing. Maybe you could tell people what that means, adaptogen.
Adaptogens are things that you take and they help you where you need it most. Your body knows what to do. Right. And these adaptogens help your body do what it needs to do to get better and to feel stronger. I've been taking both of these products, but I've taken Stem Cell Blend now for about 4 months. And I found that my fingernails are stronger, my hair is better, and my skin is more resilient.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing thing.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's why the stem cell blend, we couldn't figure out what name should we put on that, and vitality, because how do you describe, what he's just, what Dr. Epling's describing here with his nails and his hair. And I know that I forgot to take it. I moved out of an apartment back into our RV. So Taisha got to get back on the road, and my blender wasn't as handy when I first got moved into the RV, and I missed it for a few days, and I was dragging, and I could tell there was a marked difference in how I felt, and it wasn't that I felt worse. I still was at a better point than I did before I started taking it, but I could just tell I didn't have that stamina. I didn't have that, and on that particular product, the vitality of the stem cell blend, that's amazing. Maybe you can share with us, going back to the Bliss. So the rhodiola rosea, I know that's one of the prominent ingredients in that. What about some of the other ingredients in Bliss, and maybe you could share your thoughts on those?
Well, we do have some sugar in Bliss. It's a specially chosen sugar called D-ribose. The reason we included sugar was we wanted the brain to have an immediate source of energy. The brain needs sugar, and if the brain doesn't have sugar, the body will start digesting muscle tissue to get sugar. That's how important it is. The brain don't want that. We keep the brain going. If you have a body that uses 100 watts, about 20% of that, or about 20 watts, goes to the brain. So that's a lot of energy. That's an expensive part of your food budget to keep your brain going. So we wanted to put something in there to just immediately tell the brain, relax, everything's going to be fine. Because we know that the rhodiola will take some time to start affecting the person, maybe up to 20 or 30 minutes. But the sugar, that helps get you going right away. It's a very small amount of sugar, but it's something to keep in mind. The other things we have in there that are interesting, we've got Panax ginseng, which is good for energy. We have ginkgo biloba. Ginkgo biloba, it's got mixed reviews in the scientific literature. Some people say it only works for people with dementia to increase their cognitive functioning.
So if you like it, you need to go get checked out. If you like ginkgo biloba, make sure you're not demented.
There are other studies that show it works for just regular people, 30, 40 years old, no dementia. I like ginkgo biloba, always have. Then there's astragalus.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Some people say that astragalus will help your heart work better, your shoulders feel better, and help you feel better. So that's what adaptogens are about. They're about coming to your aid, coming to your rescue, and helping you get stronger and healthier.
Which are the other two adaptogens along with rhodiola? Which are the other two adaptogens?
Well, we've got astragalus and Panax ginseng.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So that means that they have varied results for people too, depending on what their body decides that they need.
Sure. Some people might take Bliss and then become very tired because they may have been taking caffeine and having that jolt and that buzz and that crash, and that may have been the only way they could keep going. And rhodiola, it's as if the rhodiola tells your body, we're in it for the long term now. You need to rest.
That's right. Well, Mark Jackson, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Dr. Gerald Epling, who's sharing with us about a new product, Bliss. And then next we're going to talk about Vitality, a stem cell blend that's really just getting great results. Mark Jackson, I know you played in the NFL. You've had the best sports nutrition people around you, and you've had the opportunity to try Bliss as well.
Yeah, Bliss is an awesome product. Dr. Epling was talking about inflammation. And any athlete out there knows that inflammation is your enemy. As we start hitting the fourth quarter of any game or hitting that 20th mile of that marathon or whatever it is that you're participating in, your body begins to protect itself, and the way it does that is through inflammation. So secreting these fluids that really shut down your muscles and everything. And inflammation, I found out later in life, now that I'm not a professional athlete, that inflammation kills us as people. So when he was talking about that, that was pretty interesting, and that's just kind of a side benefit. I don't know a lot about what each of these ingredients do for us. What I do know is what it's done for my body, and all I do is I take this stuff. So I'm not going to get a degree. I heard you reading all those degrees that Mr. Epling has, Dr. Epling has. I mean, it's like, I'm not going to go out there and get a degree on all this. I want everyone else to understand that you don't have to get a degree on this. All you have to do is eat the product, and you'll find out what it does for your body. And that's the amazing thing about adaptogens is I'm finding out that it just brings balance. So, 4 different people can eat the same product, that product Bliss, and get 4 different results. I'm kind of the guy that has, I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, but, or however you pronounce that, attention deficit, but I'm the squirrel. I'm that guy.
All right. Well, hey, can you stay through the break with us, Mark?
Absolutely.
All right, folks, we've got
Fantastic.
Taisha on the line. She's going to share her experience with Bliss, and she's hasn't played in the NFL, but she runs our house with 3 rescued dogs, and that's a lot of work. If you want to learn more about this and get all the information right away, go to myannasa.com, myannasa.com, and you can get all the information. You're listening to the Bodhi Lotus Show on 720 KDWN Las Vegas. Welcome back to the Bodhi Lotus Radio Show. This is Chris Tinney with my sidekick, the Yogi Zen Dude, and Dr. Gerald
Peace and
Epling, sharing some incredible information about basically what your body can do when it has the things it needs. For those of you that are just tuning in, when this is your week, this is your 1 hour every week where we try to prove that there's a place for positive, uplifting conversation on talk radio, and we really thank you for being part of it. Don't forget, the conversation never stops at our online community, bodhilotus.org. That's Bodhi like the Bodhi tree, B-O-D-H-I, and Lotus like the lotus flower, L-O-T-U-S. And on Facebook, we want to be your friend too. Then we can chat all the time. Well, not all the time. I don't want to be your friend and not too close.
Not that much.
We'll be kind of friends. We'll be Facebook friends. We'll be your Facebook friends. You can friend Taisha and I. It's facebook.com/Chris and Taisha. That's T-Y-S-H-A, Chris and Taisha. Or you can friend Greg at the facebook.com/
Greg Lunger.
Greg Lunger. I think
Or Om Yogi Zen Dude.
Okay.
OM Yogi Zen Dude.
Right. And we're talking about this product, Bliss. There's 2 products actually that Annasa, a new company, A-N-N-A-S-A, and one of our new sponsors, and Greg and I are 2 of the founders, because as I shared with you at the beginning of the show, we've been able to go out and do things in the world. And I kind of feel like if I feel, Greg, that I have a responsibility to be an abundant spiritual male on this planet. And when Taisha and I were out feeding the homeless, I said, there's only so many sandwiches we can make. We even at one point had a food bank and tried to start a restaurant with some friends to feed the homeless, and did different things. And I realized that what we could really do is celebrate other people and empower them and provide them the tools and things they need to go out and make a difference in their community. So after 5 years of that, with my beautiful wife Taisha, and Greg and I doing all sorts of things, both online and cleaning up garbage and doing sound healings and feeding the homeless together, we came across 2 products. I was consulting for a publicly traded company. These 2 products were going to go to market at the last minute. It wasn't going to happen for a variety of reasons on the branding around that particular product. And I said, well, what if we took it? I wanted to bring this to market. I've seen we were already taking it. We were all friends. We were able to walk away on a song and a dance to get started. and I'm amazed. And people like Mark Jackson, who's on the phone with us, 3 Super Bowls, one of the 3 amigos with the Denver Broncos. Today on the ESPN, there he is, the drive, the famous opening, pass there, Mark. Thank you so much for being part. And Taisha, Taisha is really sensitive about what she takes and what she does. And Taisha, right. I know you're on the phone and had the opportunity to try Bliss as well. What kinds of things did you experience when you took it?
Well, I have to admit, I am an energy junkie. I love my coffee in the morning. I love my energy drinks, even though I know some of them aren't good. But I like to get that kind of that energetic feeling. And I was taking a lot of energy drinks and then reading the ingredients and hearing, Dateline NBCs about how horrible, some of the products that were in these that, were not necessarily good for you, but I like that energetic feeling. So I took Bliss, and I was very skeptical just because I'm like, I like my energy drinks, I like my coffee. And I remember, I think I was with you, Greg, and you gave me 2 Bliss pills, and you're like, well, just take these with, and,
the first
see
2
how
are
you
free.
feel. And,
I said the first 2 are free.
I was like, I have energy. Like, I don't need, I didn't feel like I needed to go out and get an energy drink. And I love my coffee, so that was really hard to give up. And I didn't give up my coffee. I just drank less of it. But, Bliss has given me that energetic feeling that I like in the morning.
And you were getting up earlier. I know that when you take the Bliss, you were sleeping less.
I like to sleep till noon. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that was my dream. I would love to sleep till noon if I could. But, I get up in the morning, and if I take my Bliss, I actually can function and feel good. That gives me a lot of clarity. And
Well, thank you
It's
for.
an amazing product. Like, it really, truly is.
All right. Well,
And I'm not going to give up my coffee.
okay,
I
we're
still
not
have
trying
a
to
cup
take
of
your coffee
in the morning, but I take a cup of Bliss, and it does, like, it just, it gives me that that feeling of clarity and energy and creative juices. It's a cool product.
All right. Well, stay on the line, Taisha, because we're going to come back to you in a little bit. And Greg, I know that you also had, and one of the reasons we were so passionate about Annasa, and Annasa, if you don't know, is a Greek word. It means breath of life or new beginnings. And we really thought that was just a perfect name for Annasa, because I consider it the caboose of the network marketing industry. If you've sworn it off, you've done everything, you said you're never going to do it, this is the last stop for a lot of old dogs like me. This is the last stop that we're going to have, because we we were blown away by the product. And so when we had the opportunity to bring it to market, we figured we'd step up. And just like I said, I feel that if I'm given the opportunity to create a lot of abundant people, whether it's financially and through health, I have an obligation to do that, especially when I heard your experience, Greg. Maybe you can share.
Yeah, I had chronic fatigue syndrome, really bad for 7 years. It's like fibromyalgia there. And I freed myself from that with a raw vegan lifestyle there. And but I still didn't have the in the afternoons and the evenings there, I was still having to work at staying focused, and my clarity of mind was, not where I wanted it. And I saw this product in rhodiola and read about that there, and I'm going, wow, I hope this could make that difference. And I'm blown away there, the energy level that I have now, and from the rhodiola, from the Bliss there, it's just really made a huge difference for me, the energy level. And mentioned too, I think there's a strong point that Taisha brought up about not wanting to give up her coffee, but realizing the difference that the Bliss has in that drinking less coffee there. And that's an important part of the transition, is experiencing, just take a step in there so that you have your own personal experience with it there.
That's right. Well, and with the Bliss, that's it's funny to me because everyone talks about energy, and for me, to me it mellows me out. When I take the Bliss, I am more mellow. I don't snap at people. I think our friend Daniel Brinkley, he calls in a lot. He's the author of Saved by the Light. He's also on the advisory board for Annasa, and we're going to have him on one of our calls. And and he was saying that he actually listens to people now, and he cares what they're saying. And so for me, it's really different. And I think that's because of the adaptogens. They go to work where your body needs, and there's 3 of the 12 adaptogens in this product.
Yeah, it's not that kick like coffee. I was a huge coffee drinker. I'd drink a couple of potfuls a day there, and along with chocolate in it and creamer and everything there. And that stopped about 6 years ago or more. But it doesn't have that kick like that. It's just kind of like being a kid again. Really, it's just
Greg,
it's that.
Greg, you know what?
Smooth
I've
energy.
known you for a long time, and I know what's really interesting is in the morning your energy level was really high, and then you would have to take naps. I remember that from the beginning. You'd be like, well, I have to go kind of lay down. I mean, I think that was probably from the chronic fatigue syndrome.
Right.
And once you started taking the Bliss, I remember you're like,
we had
have
to
so
cut
much
him back.
energy. Now you're longboard skateboarding, you're doing all this stuff. I'm like, who is this guy? You are a completely different person. And I mean, I think that probably has to do with the Bliss. I'm not going to lie, because I really saw a change when you started taking that. You started having way more energy.
All right, guys. Hey, we're up against the clock, so I want to get on to the next topic. But how many do you take a day? You take on the bottle, it says you can take 2-3 times a day. You're taking 8, 9.
Yeah, taking 8 a day. Yeah, 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. Sometimes I'll take 2 or 3.
You can never have too much Bliss.
Too, but I talked with Dr. Richard Brown too, who wrote Rhodiola Revolution there, and I shared my story about chronic fatigue syndrome, and it taking me those last few steps there and giving me energy and clarity and focus like I hadn't had before, even more so than before. And he said, the rhodiola has done made a huge difference for many people with chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia.
That's awesome. Well, and folks, so you can see from what you're hearing from here from Taisha, those of you that have been listening to this over the past year on the Tan Talk Radio Network and now out here on KDWN in Las Vegas, Nevada, we've had lots of different people on our show and lots of different things, but you've seen this kind of change as we mentioned it, and we're really excited that that Annasa is now available to people, and people like Daniel Brinkley, the author of Saved by the Lights, on our distributor advisory board. We're proud that people like Mark Jackson, who's on the phone with us,
yes,
and played in 3 NFLs, one of the 3 amigos, is on our distributor advisory board, and it's because the product works, and it's really what made us get all excited. Know that if you've got a product like this, that you can't get it anywhere else. I mean,
yeah,
these are
don't take our word
pending.
for it. Try it.
Yeah. Now the second product, Vitality, it's called Vitality, a stem cell blend. And we were calling it the stem cell blend for the longest time, but people started, what they were describing to me, I would describe as Vitality. And this is an amazing product. There's clinical trials that have already been done, and there's some new clinical trials being done to even higher standards with the people that have the patent on this pending. And, stem cells, we hear a lot about stem cells. There's a lot of people paying tens of thousands of dollars for all sorts of crazy things that and some of the processes you might not even agree with. This is an all natural ingredients that are amazing, and the results people are claiming. I'm walking a fine line here because the clinical trials are going to be done here soon, and so when those are done, I expect that anything that they prove, we will be able to say. So we're kind of buying our time on that, but we know that this is really off the hook, the people that are taking this and what they're experiencing and the word Vitality. And that's why we're so happy to have Dr. Gerald Epling on the phone, one of the leading researchers on cognition and neuroscience, and over 20 years of experience in a wide variety of endeavors. Doctor, maybe you can share with us a little bit about this stem cell blend and why people are reporting to us the things that they're saying.
It would be my pleasure. Stem cell blend it's similar to BLISS in one way. BLISS is it has rhodiola rosea, Panax ginseng, B vitamins. It has a lot of things, and we also treat it with an electromagnetic wave field.
Oh yeah,
that we think actually makes it more beneficial. We use the same device to treat water, and water tends to taste sweeter. We can't explain it, but we can do it.
Right.
Now, the stem cell blend, we have AFA, astragalus, Panax ginseng, spirulina, cordyceps, rhodiola rosea, and really it should be AFA and spirulina. We've increased the spirulina and found that really made some positive effects here. What we have found is the reports we get from people who take it, and they say, well, my fingernails feel stronger, and they do, and my hair feels better, and it does, and they feel more vital, more alive. This is going to open up whole new possibilities for people, in my opinion. In my opinion, it will open up new avenues for their mind to explore. It may help them renew their life. And by renewal, I'm talking about the possibility that this product may increase stem cells or primitive cells in the peripheral blood. We have strong reason to believe that this product will increase primitive cells in the peripheral blood.
Wow.
That's a good thing. That's the body renewing itself naturally.
Right.
Other ways to do this, you can walk, moderate exercise. And the medical literature is very clear. Walking 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week or more can be the difference between being healthy and not being healthy for many people. So that's why all across this nation and all around the world, people are encouraging people to get up and walk at least 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So you don't have to be perfect. You can take a day off, but you have to do something. We think that this product will help people as they try to get healthy, be healthy, stay healthy. It's vitality in a bottle is another way to look at it.
Yeah. Ooh,
yeah.
I think we just got a new slogan there. Yeah. Well, and I know a lot of people are going to incredible lengths to experiment with stem cells, to get new. I'm not even sure. I've seen things on the news for tens of thousands of dollars. So what just for those people that are out there like me, what is a stem cell? Why is it so important?
Okay. Stem cells are mysterious in that we don't know a lot about them. It was known in 1967 that rats produce new stem cells in their brains even in old age. But we had no good way to understand if people produce new stem cells. And there was a complicated issue with radiation. The way to tag these is to give somebody a little bit of a nuclear or radioactive taggant that will show up in the new cells but not in the old cells. Through some people who donated their brains to science, they had cancer, they had some chemotherapy and some radiation therapies. When they passed away, they were able to examine their brains and find that new brain cells had grown. So that was published in 1998. That was the first time we had good human research showing that people grow new brain cells. So the assumption from that is they had to have new stem cells, because it's not like parts of the body that will cell double. The brain pretty much has to come from stem cells. So that opened up a whole line of research. How do people regenerate themselves? And that line of research was not very interesting because it would be something people could do for themselves. It wouldn't be something that might be seen as lucrative as coming to a person with an outside stem cell. We don't agree with getting stem cells from other people. We think that you should use your own stem cells, leave other people alone.
Right. I like that. I like to give me my island and leave me alone. I'll grow my own stem cells.
I mean, good stem cells
that's crazy
just
stuff.
for you. When you inject stem cells from someone else into another person, it's very difficult to understand what will happen. But
Right.
with your own stem cells, in my opinion, you've got a much better chance you're going to have a good response. Like, oh, I do have better hair, better fingernails.
Because it's your own. It's just supporting your body and doing what
Right.
it needs, what it
And
can
doing
do if it has what it needs.
That's exactly right.
Well, that is awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Epling, for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you on the show. I hope we can have you again real soon.
Well, I'd love to. It was a pleasure to be on with Mark Jackson, too.
Yeah, and the granifier. We could have a whole show about that, about the process they do through. How do I say that, Doctor? Through
Agronification.
Agronification. But how would I explain it
Right.
to people? It's using sound and vibration to actually change the.
We introduce a magnetic field, and then we use an electromagnetic field on top of that with sound waves to make some changes in water. And this would be water with minerals, things like that in it, not purely distilled water. We have not as clear a result with pure distilled water. But, it works well with stem cell blend and BLISS and water and
Well, you are
wine.
definitely benefacting humanity with all of your research. We appreciate it, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
If you're just tuning in, that was Dr. Gerald Epling talking to us about BLISS, just an incredible product, and Vitality, a new stem cell blend. It's also one of our sponsors and a company that Greg and I have decided to be the founders of and get involved with. And we're excited about it. And I just wanted to spend all this time on the product because I think, and Mark Jackson's on the line with us. I'm going to throw it to you in just a second here, Mark. If you don't have a product that people feel and get results from, I mean, it's a lot harder out there today. But these are two products with patent pending. The rhodiola that we talked about in BLISS, the Soviet Union kept that a secret. It was only they
just for their astronauts and Olympic
they
players.
considered it a competitive advantage, and it grew in Siberia, and so nobody knew. Really, the word started getting out in the Afghanistan war when a doctor was going around and noticing that this one little group of people that was getting this box from his family in Russia was actually doing better than everybody else, and they were chewing on this rhodiola plant. So it's really only in the last few years that Western medicine has discovered rhodiola rosea. And when you throw in, two of the other adaptogens that are in that product, that's why everybody, I don't know what your results are going to be. Try it. I mean, the 100% money back guarantee. I hope the bottle's empty because then you didn't really try it. I haven't had anybody come back and say that. So try it and see what it'll do for you because they're adaptogens. Your body knows what you need. I don't know what you need. You might even be surprised at what your body tells you need. And then the stem cell blend, and we can't go into that a whole lot because there's some clinical trials that are underway. Obviously, I'm excited about those clinical trials. Otherwise, I wouldn't be promoting it on here. And I'm excited about the results people are seeing, and I think it's going to be off the hook. And Mark Jackson, I know as an athlete in the NFL, playing in 3 Super Bowls, and that iconic catch that they still play on ESPN. You are as passionate as I am about these kinds of products, but I also know that you're about empowering people with a financial opportunity too. And maybe you can comment a little bit about how you see Annasa being unique and how people are able to earn either a part-time income or a full-time income.
Awesome. Annasa definitely is unique in that, once again, I really believe in the vision that you guys have for the company, and that is to have a product that people can enjoy the product and enjoy the benefits of the product, and actually begin through a simple referral method, referring other people. We always do it anytime that we go to a nice restaurant or you catch a sale at a store or anything you find that's good, you're always willing to refer someone else to it so they can also get the benefits. And for the first time, and I've been in the networking industry for over 20 years, this is one of the first companies, and to the extent that you've done it, the first company that will allow you to truly refer people and earn an income. Now, we're not talking about selling. We're not talking about, growing a huge network and, spending all your day to night at, different conferences and on conference calls and showing up at meetings. And this is an incredible opportunity where people can actually eat a great product. I've lost 13 pounds on this. I talked to Dr. Epling about it. Wow. And it's not, I didn't start eating a product to lose weight. I just ate the product. But a product that you can eat, get incredible benefit from, and also earn an income through simply referring other people to get the product. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. And I want to let people know, if you go to myannasa.com, that's M-Y like my, Annasa, A-N-N-A-S-A. So 2 N's and 1 S, A-N-N-A-S-A.com. And you can take a look at these products. There's no email blast, no advertising allowed. This really is a friends and family invitation. And I consider you that listen to this show our friends and family. You've been the ones that supported us. You're the folks that shipped me 170 tents when my friend died in Reno, and I needed some tents for the other homeless guys that were there because I was tired of kicking over the tents in the morning to see if they were alive. That's why I consider you my friend, because you're the people that have supported us along the way. And those of you on Facebook at Spread Peace USA, those videos, that's the reason I get up. You guys inspire us. And Annasa, I hope, is our gift back to you, thanking you for that inspiration you've given us, because when it all landed in our lap with these 2 incredible products and we saw the benefits people were getting, and people like Mark Jackson, who's offered lots of opportunities to earn cash to promote something, and he's not. He truly is sharing. There's no cash changing hands here at all. He believes in what we're doing. He believes in the opportunity. People like Daniel Brinkley, the author of Saved by the Light, who you've heard on our show. We're not paying him anything. He wants people to have this product because he saw what it did for him. And he realizes that if you can be in a business giving people something that they really feel that makes a marked difference in their life, you're probably going to do pretty well. If you can do good and do well, then I will consider you a friend of mine, and thank you for tuning into the Bodhi Lotus Show. Greg, thank you so much for today. What an awesome show we've had.
Oh, man,
we should tell people you want to know how different this company is. Greg is the executive vice president of giving. His job is to make sure that he holds us to the fire to make sure we're squeezing every ounce of giving that we can out of this company. Maybe you can share real quick. We only got a minute or two here. You got two minutes. Just name a couple of the nonprofits that we're already supporting.
Okay. First is Hemp Out Hunger there, and then Keepers of the Wild there, Twilight Brigade, and your dad's place,
Sparrow's Gate.
Sparrow's Gate.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you for tuning in, and I really appreciate it. Taisha, thank you so much. We'll be seeing you in just a little bit, and thank you for sharing your experience.
I don't know if you can hear me, but it's been a wonderful show, and I'm really excited about all the things that are happening here.
All right.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh. Well, great show. It's always good, to see what people are doing in this world that are making a difference. And this is just, I just see this unfolding in such a beautiful way. It's like people that want to give and people that want to, do good. Like, this is the company. We're going to do it. And we have a lot of passionate people here that are for real. They're not trying to make money. They're actually trying to give back. Like, that's their passion.
Well, we've come along.
Greg Lunger is a perfect example of somebody who's so from his heart. He just gives. It doesn't matter, how much money he has or whatever. He gives. But, of course, he would like to be abundant and have more money because then he could give more.
There we go.
Exactly.
All right, guys. All right, we're up against the clock. Thank you so much for joining us in this week's episode of the Bodhi Lotus Show. This is Chris Tinney with my beautiful wife, Taisha Tinney, on the phone. My sidekick, the Yogi Zen dude, Dr. Gerald Epling of neuro research fame. Mark Jackson from the NFL, one of the three amigos. Thank you so much for joining us. Our sponsor is Annasa Inc. You can go to myannasa.com, MYANNASA. And thank you to Hemp Inc., the first publicly traded company all about hemp, for being one of our sponsors from the very start. Thank you so much to all of you that are sharing this on your Facebook wall, and those of you that listen. About 3 times more people listen after the show, actually online. And we appreciate each and every one of you for sharing this on their wall. It matters. Simple decisions that we make every day matter. There is no big or small. And don't forget to ask yourself, who can you help today?
On the edge of darkness, there rides the peace train.